Mick Cook's side had won impressively in Cork and Bray recently, looking for their first home win though. The Candy Stripes started in third place with only one loss so far. Tight encounter was likely. Eamon Donohoe has this report.
Having corrected their recent blip against Shells with a win last week in Turner's Cross, Derry were slight favourites to take the points at Hunky Dory's Park and had the first chance, though wayward, from Rory Patterson. Indeed, wayward would be a kind summary of City's overall performance on the night, but take nothing from Drogheda, who were superb at times. Gavin Brennan capitalising on Patrick McEleney's poor header. Brother Sean then lent a hand to the third Brennan sibling Ryan to smash United in front after 21 minutes. Sean Brennan scored twice in Monday's 5-2 League Cup win over Athlone, and at least got this free kick on target, Doherty redeeming himself somewhat. Now you'll know by this point that when we show you a yellow card, it's usually for a reason. Tiernan Mulvenna fouled in the corner by Barry Molloy. Graham Kelly showed the yellow card. The story of Molloy will continue after the break. No let up from the impressive home side after the restart. Gavin Brennan composed in a congested area. Big brother Sean still a danger from long range. Derry boss Declan Devine wasn't happy with his side's attitude, and petulant would best describe Stephen McLaughlin's reaction to not being awarded a free kick. And rather than return the ball to Gabriel Sava from the resulting restart, Rory Higgins didn't cover himself in glory with an unsporting restart. Things were about to get worse for Derry. If you cast your mind back 40 seconds or so to Barry Molloy's booking, here he fouled the marauding Ryan Brennan, and Kelly duly dismissed the Derry skipper. From the resulting free kick, Sean Brennan went close. Last week, Shell's Stephen Hurley scored a memorable own goal, and on Friday, Drogheda's Derek Prendergast almost did likewise, getting his wires crossed with Sava. Led off for the home side, an equaliser would have been unmerited. Mick Cook later described this performance as the best since he's been in charge of the club, and it's difficult to argue as they virtually dominated. Declan McBride perhaps could have done more. He also scored in Monday's League Cup win. He could have ruled that miss moments later as Derry launched perhaps the one truly dangerous attack of the match. Mark Farron put it on the plate for Patterson. He should have buried it. But United got the insurance their performance merited with 2 minutes remaining. Gavin Brennan outstanding on the night, cross for Brian Gannon. Gannon scored in the side's previous meeting last September. Exhibition football by now. Man of the match Ryan Brennan found brother Gavin out wide. His shot perhaps a little hasty, but it mattered not. 2-0 the final score, putting Drogheda into second, temporarily at least. A first buzz of optimism around United Park since the good old days.
The first 5 performances have been very, very good. How long that will continue, I don't know. We're going to hit a slump somewhere. Injuries will creep in, suspensions as the season goes on. Can we cope with all of that? But certainly I'll enjoy it for the moment anyway, and we look after the weekend and enjoy ourselves and look forward now to Monaghan next week.
We were under no illusions coming here. It was very difficult. Mike's team are doing terrifically well. We knew it was going to be a tough game for us. We prepared properly, but you know, it was just one of those nights where we didn't show up, and you know, I feel sorry for any Derry person that paid good money to come down here and support us tonight. I have to apologise for that.
Well, Stewie, you were in Drogheda for that game, and there was one player who particularly caught your eye, Ryan Brennan.
Yeah, when you consider the amount of talent that was on show, there's a lot of experienced players in the Derry team. They're expected to challenge, but the one player that stood out for me was a young 20-year-old Ryan Brennan in midfield. Obviously, being a midfielder, you kind of caught my eye straight away. Throughout the whole first half, here he is now getting on the ball, good composure, great bit of skill, just keeping the ball for Drogheda at a time when they really need to do that. Not afraid to work either. You can see he likes to get involved, likes to get forward. But there he is, setting the tone for the team, putting the goalkeeper under pressure, and that was throughout the whole first half. Here, this is the lead up to the goal. It's a poor header from the Derry player, but you can see he's just on the periphery, always looking to get forward. And as we stop it here, there's the space in behind. Mulvenna's got himself into an offside position, but Ryan Brennan sees the gap in behind and advances in there, and it's a wonderful ball from his brother Sean. And that's an absolutely fantastic finish. What I loved about it, he's got 2 feet, right foot, left foot, great finish. And again, this is another great part of his game. Always looking to drift into that, into those advanced areas. this culminates in Barry Molloy being sent off. So he was, for such a young player, he really impressed me. He really set the tone for Drogheda throughout the game, and it's a very rare thing, I think, these days in midfielders, that they're able to get themselves into advanced positions at the correct time. You know, timing themselves. He didn't do it willy-nilly. He picked and chose his runs, and he was incredibly effective.
Pat, Mick Cook seems to be doing a really good job at Drogheda. I mean, they've made a tremendous start to the season. His
Holiness Mick Cook, he's done a terrific job, but I was surprised by that result. I really was. As much of Drogheda are optimistic, they don't expect to be contenders, and their remit has to be survival to stay in the division. Yeah, they'll be wanting to challenge for Europe now, but for Derry it is a little bit worrying, and what Declan Devine said afterwards when he started talking about apologising to supporters, it's a bit fashionable, isn't it, with managers to start apologising to supporters. If your players play badly, you don't have to apologise to the supporters. That's football. You only apologise if they're not trying, if they haven't made enough effort. And if you're a new manager and after 5 games you're saying that my players aren't putting the effort in, you've got a big problem.
It was a shocking result. Well, actually, when I say it was a shocking result, Kenny, a few people around the office actually tipped Drogheda to win that one. I was surprised by it, I have to say.
Yeah, I was surprised. Pat's made some comments there, like in terms of the kind of attitude of the Derry players. That really surprised me. I had the good fortune to work with a number of them in the pre-tournament last summer. Rory, Higgins, Barry Molloy, Stewart, Geacan. Great characters, strong characters.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe the manager should keep it in the dressing room, not be coming out in public and slaughtering the players by saying.
Yeah, I think so. He's a young manager, of course he is. I think you do have to be careful. You've got to know your players. Some things are best said privately. Sometimes you may feel as if you have to go public. Maybe 5 games into the season is not the best time. But in terms of the actual character inside that Derry City dressing room, I think this is very much a blip, because like I said, some very strong characters there, some very honest lads of integrity. So I think this will be a blip, and I think you'll see a response.
And as bad as they played, Kenny, you know, just before Drogheda got the goal that secured the game, Rory Patterson had a fantastic chance. So
could have been 1-1.
Yeah, fine lines.
Sometimes you have to accept that you've been beaten by a better team as well. You know, I mean, Derry they were okay on the night. You could see Declan when he was very frustrated from the start. You know, his players, you know, that effort wasn't really there, but they were beaten by a hungrier team on